This is day 3 of Anime Expo, July 5th, and I wanted to show you guys exactly what went down. I went dressed in my Apati apparel, which is the collaboration brand that did a collaboration with Persona 5 Royal, so I'm wearing the top and bottom, and I got a lot of compliments on it, by the way. I went to the convention center at 6 a.m. to wait until 9 for it to open. This is the Persona 5 X panel line. It finished being queued up in like less than 30 minutes. Then I got into the panel. They gave us this cool little fan as like a little goodie. I thought it was kind of neat. We saw a couple trailers. We heard from a bunch of the different devs about upcoming things, and that was pretty cool. And then it ended with Lin performing 2 songs, the lead song for Persona 5 X as well as Life Will Change. Now, this was already really cool just by itself, but what made it even cooler was that Shigenori Sojima, the artist behind much of what we know as Persona, was actually doing a live drawing of the protagonist for P5X while the panel was going on. So for about an hour, he was drawing. And if you're an artist, he used Painter Tool Sai as the application. And if you're a longtime artist, you'll feel very satisfied knowing that that's still something he uses to this day. Though he also uses Procreate and Photoshop, this is like his primary go-to, and I think that's really cool. In modern day, he's still doing it. During this drawing session, he drew Teddy, he drew Jack Frost, and he drew Morgana, just kind of like to communicate with the audience and to be a little fun, and it was very cool that he did that. The Lin performance was amazing, and it was really just cool to see her in her bag. People might say that the audience wasn't hyped enough, but this was a panel, so it wasn't really the right vibe for a concert, so I think that's probably why the energy was a little off. But towards the end, she got the energy she wanted. I think it's really funny that partway through, she started to initiate clapping and the audience could not hold the beat, which is more reason why they shouldn't have been cheering in the first place. Immediately after the concert, I ran to go wait in line. The line officially wasn't supposed to open until 2, but because of the way that this is set up, you could actually line up as early as you want, essentially. So we started lining up literally around 11:30. Unfortunately, that meant that anyone who did arrive at 2 to get in line was already not going to be able to see the concert, because by the time I did my part of like just seeing how many people were there, it was approximately 500 people in line. And that meant that only 1,500 more people would be let in. But there was also a prior concert that was happening a little bit before the convention, or before the Lin concert. And this concert was for an anime movie, and that audience was not like forced to go out. What we were told were that they weren't going to actually make anyone leave, because unless you pay for a ticketed event, that's the only time they'll escort people out of the like auditorium. Otherwise, you can just be there and it wouldn't matter. So unfortunately for everyone, this was not communicated to anyone. So almost everyone who is hardcore fans who had other plans weren't able to make it, but everyone who lined up almost 5 hours early got to see the concert in the end. While I was waiting in line, I did run into one of my favorite cosplayers, and they were cosplaying Tatsuya this time around. Now, this is footage from that other thing that we were in line. We were sitting there watching, and then they gave us our goodie bags, which had this like light holder thing, which is really cool. And it was a cool thing. Like, this is actually the dev staff. So in the front row of the balcony, there was a bunch of dev staff. That's Justice, the voice for Shinjiro, and that's me with Sojima. I thought that was really cool too. Then after the concert concluded, or at least the fake conclusion, they announced that they're going to do a tour, or at least a LA showing. What made this cool also is that that's Konishi, one of the composers. He came out and played guitar to a couple songs. He did about a 14-minute set. Partway through that set, Lin came out and finished the songs with him. And that was just really cool, because he's a very good composer. And it was just really cool to see him in his bag, seeing him perform, do all that stuff, and, you know, get his flowers. One of the things that they said is that he likes to be called Konitan, which is like an abbreviation of his name, essentially. And Tan is like a cutification of the word Chan. So that's why that exists. And it was just cool. It was really cool to see. And I don't think the audience was hyped enough for him, but it's because, to be honest, unless you're Meguro, not a lot of people know who you are. after the concert, I actually ran into Konishi as well, and it was really fun to kind of talk to him and kind of tell him that basically he has a big fandom, even though maybe people don't know him by name, people do appreciate his work. And he said thank you to me, which was kind of a nice moment for me. I also ran into an Akira cosplayer, and then to end it all off, I ran into Soejima again. And Soejima was really nice. I actually asked him if he liked Doraemon still, because as a child, he used to draw Doraemon comics for his friends and he would sell them and stuff. And he actually laughed. Yeah, this was a good day. Bye.